And so now, ladies and gentlemen, we have actually reached our final session for the day. And this one is all about the stories of the visionary entrepreneurs shaping the future of industries. It is definitely one not to be missed. And to take us through their journeys, please welcome to the stage Mohamed, Refai, founder of Moghamra. Cedric, Zovighian, the co-founder and CEO of Ticket. Lisa Vo, founder of Haus of Vo, and your moderator, Layan Abushkir.
Okay, it's working. Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the day so far. We're almost there. We just still have the award ceremony, which you should make sure you stick around to actually attend it. I'm actually super glad to be joined by three amazing 30 under 30 listers who are doing great in their own fields and in their own unique worlds. I would like to actually start with Lisa. Lisa, you have a concept that you actually believe in and you always cherish, which is the Supper Club Foster Community. Can you explain to us a little bit what is that and how it's actually building a genuine connection amongst all guests?
Indeed. Thank you very much for having me today. So I appreciate most of the audience here may not be familiar with the concept of a supper club, so I'll begin with that. A supper club really is a community-centric and intimate dinner gathering that brings together absolute and total strangers at an undisclosed location throughout the city. It's something that we like to do to help connect people and to help beat this big city loneliness. And throughout the years, I have really been able to, been lucky enough to witness a lot of meaningful relationships being built. So, most recently, I've had a group of young creatives that met here and started a business of their own in design. But the proudest story I've got has got to be two people that met and formed a romantic connection at my table.
Oh, wow.
Hey, so I'm very proud of that. So about 2 weeks ago, I got a call from the gentleman that he's actually proposed to her. So it's something I've been bragging about nonstop for the last 2 weeks. Ultimately, everyone that comes to my table, I do make one promise to all of them. It's that here at Haus of Vo, there's no such thing as a lonely meal. And my hope is that everyone who walks through my doors come as strangers and leave as friends. Thank you.
That's great. And can you tell us a little bit about the opportunities and the challenges when it comes to actually doing such a job or doing such a activity?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, launching in the form of a supper club rather than a restaurant in its very traditional sense has really allowed me to focus on creativity and quality without this heavy burden of heavy overheads. This business model has really enabled me to focus and pour out all of my heart into every detail, from menu design, recipe development, all the way to the user experience, all while remaining financially sustainable. Now, of course, throughout the years, I have had my fair of challenges. First of all, at the very start, having to carve out a niche for the supper club community in a highly competitive F&B industry. In the UAE, you get everything from homegrown ramen to Michelin-starred restaurants. But then, so why should people come to a supper club instead of any of these established entities? At the very start, a lot of investment really was made into educating the consumer about what it is, what it brings to the table. And ultimately, supper clubs are more than just a dining concept. It really, first and foremost, at its heart, is a community-driven concept. Thanks.
That's great, and that's very interesting. I'll move actually to my next panelist, Cedric. If you could tell us a little bit about Ticket and how do you guys actually use technology and data to transform the experience of events?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's great to be here. So it's a really good question, but to answer to this question, I first need to tell you why Ticket started. So on one end, music enthusiasts didn't have in the Middle East a platform that helps them explore events around them and book for them, while event planners, most importantly, didn't have access to comprehensive tools, whether it's to manage their ticketing, table booking, or guest list systems, and most importantly, gather data to grow their sales. So everyone keeps telling us, yeah, there are a lot of ticketing platforms, but the thing is that they all have one thing in common. None of them leverage the most important asset in the world, data. So what we've done with Ticket is that we were able to integrate for the first time on our event management platform a CRM where event planners can track and understand the habits of their customers, what type of music they like, where they're based, how many times they attended, literally everything. And we made it easy for any event planner to understand his data by providing analytics and dashboard that gives them information like the male-female ratio of each of their events, the average spending at their events, understand what is the most demanded music genre amongst their community, and what are their best sellers, and how to maximize those revenues. So we made it easy for event planners here in the MENA region to appear and grow in this thriving music event industry that is growing at an incredible pace here in the region. So, yeah.
And if you want to focus on the audience more, what strategies are you actually using to make event discovery easier and more accessible?
Very good question. So when we built Ticket, we focused on 4 pillars. The first one was building a curated platform for music events. So we only list music events to make it really curated for our users. The 3 other pillars are the ones that make today Instagram and TikTok addictive. So great user experience, fresh content coming out every day. And finally, we give the possibility for our users to engage with each other and interact on the platform. They can follow each other, follow their favorite artist, follow their favorite event planner. And all of this makes Ticket a high user engagement platform that focuses on music events and where music enthusiasts live. So for small and medium event brands that don't have huge marketing budgets, we make it easy for them and free to list on a platform where their audience live. And they won't need anymore to hire a CRM team, purchase multiple tools. We make everything possible from our platform completely for free, and we help them focus on what they do best, create experiences. So yeah, this is how we made it different, and it's really working for us. And you can see the really big difference between our platform and what the market has to offer.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that you guys are doing a huge difference, which is why you are on our 30 under 30 list for this year. I would like to also move to Refai. For those who don't know, Refai presents a podcast called Moghamra, which is focused on hosting people from the startup industry. He has a lot of passion when it comes to that. I personally know that. So if you could tell us, you've met and spoken to so many startup founders. So can you tell us what common traits have you noticed amongst the successful ones?
I chose the seat where I'm blinded the most, so I'm struggling to look at the crowd here. I should have come with the tanning oil and would have been great. Anyway, I think there is no certain formula. Do you know, in video games, when you have all of the different players and each of them has a different trait where they're really strong in, I think it's super similar in that end where there isn't one formula that works, but it's a bunch of different things. So you're gonna have people who are super, in terms of perseverance, they're incredible. Someone like Mustafa Andil going from 1.5 billion in valuation to $5 million and still continuing is incredible. You have founders who are really good at being storytellers, and what that means is they're really good at attracting the right team. They're really good at attracting the top talent. They can sell, or not sell, but they can sell to investors a really good story and why they should invest in them. And I think it's super important for a founder to be a good executor. Execution is really everything. You can have all of the ideas in the world, but if you can't execute properly, it's not about the idea at all. So it's a bunch of different things. There isn't one certain trait. Everyone has their own thing that they rely on, and really embrace their strength and build a great company. So it's a bunch of things. And also luck is super important. I think people really underestimate how important luck is, but luck is truly everything. It's from who you meet that puts you in touch with an investor. It's who you meet and joins your team. It's the market timing. It's a lot of different things, and I think a lot of people don't contribute luck, how much it weighs in the success formula.
Absolutely. And if we want to actually talk about the challenges that you have noticed amongst most of the entrepreneurs here in the region, what are the common challenges when you spoke to these founders?
I think it really depends on the stage. For early stage investors, for early stage founders, finding investors could be relatively hard if they don't have a product market fit. And also if they're not in the right community where they can actually access investors. And then afterwards, you have some money, building the team can be quite difficult. Once you reach a stage where you're doing well, you have traction, you reach a point where you need more traction and you need to expand. And something that a lot of founders struggle with in the region is scale, due to the fragmentation of the region in terms of the regulations, in terms of many, many different things, the differences between the markets, what works in let's say, UAE doesn't necessarily have to work in Egypt. So I think it really depends on the stage, and also it really depends on the industry. So you have a lot of different things, but I would say building the right team is very hard, and also it's a challenge, especially if it has more tech. And also I would say it's having scale. Scale is very hard in the region.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for Refai, for Cedric, and for Lisa for sharing their stories and for sharing their different experiences and unique experiences. You guys are doing great, which is why you're on the list. And you're actually, as always, I always say it, our 30 under 30 listers are shaping the future of our region by the great things that they do in their own unique ways. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
علي ايدك يا سيكو